Today we'll be looking at one of the more unusual cameras in our collection, the Konica III, which is a post-war Japanese camera that's a copy of a pre-war German design. We'll start out here by loading the camera, and getting the back open is really unusual on this one. So you lift up this tab, turn the arrow from the C for close to the O for open, and then we have to push down on the tab again against this little button, and that's what will release the back. So you push that down and then the back pops open. Inserting the film and threading it through is fairly conventional. Push this up, film goes here, pull it across, and feed it into the slot here. Make sure the gear engages, and now we're ready to advance the film. Advancing this camera is a little unusual. There's a lever on the front left of the camera, and you need to push that down twice to advance the film. So right now we have our film threaded in the back here. Got to hit the shutter, give it 2 more pushes down, make sure it makes a full rotation onto the take-up spool. You can actually take it a little farther. Hitting the shutter after 2 plunges. Okay, there we see that it's all the way around the take-up spool, and it shouldn't fall off. And to keep track of that along the way, we're going to make sure that the rewind here is tight, and as we advance the camera, which we do here, we'll be able to see that turn and know that there's film going through the camera. So I'll need to advance this 3 times to get to unexposed film. Another item of note with this closure is that when you're loading it, it's possible to just click it shut and neglect turning this to closed. It's very easy to pop it open while you're shooting if you don't turn this key to the C, and you just line these up with this black diamond. And then the focus, which you do, focused is accomplished by taking this outer ring, and there's a little nub here that you can grab onto, and it focuses from infinity to 3 feet. And unusual that it's in feet. I guess this was made for US export. When you look through the viewfinder here, you'll see a little yellow rectangle in the center. And when you move the focus back and forth within that rectangle, you'll see the image go from a single image, double image, to a single image. And when it's a single image is when the rangefinder is correctly focused. Other items to note on this camera are the exposure counters here. And that, of course, is the shutter button. There's a non-hot shoe that you can attach a flash with that needs to be plugged into the lens. And there is a self-timer shutter delay on this camera, but I would not recommend using it. That usually stresses out the old mainsprings on the shutters. When your roll of film is completed, you push in the clutch bottom at the bottom here, and that'll stay in. And then you unfold your crank and you wind the film back. And it takes quite a few turns to get it back. And you'll hear it kerplunk when it's totally back into the cassette. But still, it's a good idea to just advance the camera just to make sure that this doesn't turn and that your film's completely off. Next, we just have to open the camera, retrieve the film canister. Again, we're turning it from the C to the O and then pushing down, and it'll pop open. And here is our roll of film. This concludes our tour of the Konica III. It's unusual to find a 1950s camera in new condition, so take good care of it.